Hello and welcome back to the A&R Podcast. I'm your co-host Ryan,
And I'm the other co-host, Addison.
and here today we are reviewing the first season of The Politician on Netflix. The Politician is a comedy drama, also satire, created by Ryan Murphy, Brad Falchuk, and Ian Brennan. It follows wealthy high school student Payton Hobart, who has known since he was 7 years old that he was going to be the president of the United States. But the first step towards that goal is to become his school's student body president. And that is season 1. So let's hop right into that. Obviously, because all these people are rich, it's obviously like probably one of the more colorful things that on Netflix. I actually read an article that Ryan Murphy bragged about how he actually got more money than the show The Crown on Netflix to like pay for all the sets and outfits, which I totally understand because every character obviously has a fashion degree, it seems.
Yeah, they all have very polished looks that are very well fitted. Like everybody had some person in their life who does fitting or something like that.
Yeah. Except Ricardo.
Except Ricardo, yeah.
Oh
And I
god,
guess
Ricardo.
Infinity as well.
Yeah. I also like how it was shot because like it felt kind of dynamic in a sense. There was lots of like sometimes it made sense, sometimes it didn't. I just liked how it was. There was lots of moving and swinging shots,
Mm-hmm.
especially I think episode 5, right after Payne realizes that Astrid has given up the election, and then like he turns around to see McAfee and James, and then just kind of like pushes in on them. I don't know why. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I was thinking like right when the intro clip, I guess, like the introduction credits came on for
Mhm.
the first time, I'm like, this looks like it's for a movie. And then just throughout the show, it's like, this looks like it should be a movie, like of how cinematic it's shot.
Mhm. And then like back to the colors thing. I do like how it's very colorful. Kinda though, in episode 6 when Dusty is like at the bar thing and she's dancing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to I forget which song, but like the way that she's lit up is from like the all the LED lights, and she just looks so nice because it's just, in my opinion, I feel like it's more aesthetically pleasing because it's not exactly polished, but it looks kind of more like fluid. It kind of looks like it's from Euphoria actually, and
Yeah.
that show in general is a very aesthetically pleasing show.
Yeah.
This show, oh my god, the dialogue is literally
It's
they somehow. Well, what are you gonna say? I'll
I
say
was
my
gonna
point after.
say it's very like unrealistic, of course.
Hmm.
Um and it's like pretty funny how like entitled these people are. Like they take everything way too seriously, even though like it's
Hmm.
just high school. Like it's just high school,
Yeah.
guys, calm down. Like this is the tracks we need to get to the presidency, and this is the first step. Like what, dude, this is
Yeah.
just calm down.
It's true. They do like obviously because it is a satire. They do take themselves like way too seriously. But I find it funny when they like make offhanded comments that if you think about it, it's like they just took a dig at like something like really like big. For example, when Payne is put under arrest for Astrid's quote unquote kidnapping. And then Astrid's parents wants Payne to do that quote perf walk. Uh, the I'm not sure if he's like a detective or an officer or whatever. He's like, we can't just um arrest people. Well, at least not rich people. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. Or just
Yeah.
half the lines that Astrid says when she goes to New York, like she's like, we traveled like real Americans. poor
Yeah.
people. And I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I feel like the fact that they do take themselves so seriously, they take, I think it was summed up greatly with, like, their satire points versus, like, their political commentary points.
Mhm.
Um, when Astrid returns home from New York, and she says how this made this won't exactly work as an analogy, but I'm gonna try to make it work. They have all they spend money so that the hard stuff is easy and the easy, but then they make the easy stuff hard, so they feel
Yeah.
like they have something to do. So I feel like that was really interesting because literally well, I shouldn't say all these characters, but most of these characters are very well off. Like, for example, uh, there's like the whole plot line with Payton and his adopted father, and like if Payton will become like the next multi-billionaire after the father dies, but then that doesn't go through. And then it's like, yeah, obviously. So he literally has to put such a big deal on the fact that he wants to become a class president, especially
Mhm.
because like, well, obviously, well, in my opinion, I'll say this. In my opinion, being a class president isn't like a great thing. Like, yes, as Payne says, it's a great college app thing to say, like, oh, I was class president, but it's just like
Yeah.
nobody. I don't want to say nobody really cares, but in Payne's
Um,
long run scheme, no one would care if he was president or not of his high school.
yeah. Personally, like when I've seen the president of our high schools, I'm like, yeah, they're probably one of the most annoying people in the school, which I think that guy in that one episode was obviously on the same thinking pattern as me. Like, this is just
Hmm.
annoying,
The
guys.
voter.
Yeah, the voter guy.
Yeah. I feel like the episode The Voter was written to literally target millennials and Gen Z because we are all like, oh, we don't want to vote.
Yeah. I
And
mean, I feel like then again, a lot of us are like, it depends. I think there's two sides to it. There's a side that's like, oh my gosh, voting is so great. Everybody has to vote because that's so great. And then there's the other side who's like, I don't care. Like, why would I ever care?
hmm yeah, because they're like, my vote doesn't affect change or whatever,
Yeah,
which is so, something I think that I've said to you before, and you got mad
definitely.
at me about
Yes!
that.
Because, like, come on, dude.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, man.
I think with the dialogue as well, how there's I think you already talked about this maybe. Did you talk about their bluntness?
Their bluntness. In which
Just
ways?
like just like for example when Astrid is losing the race, this guy's like, "What about if we have him assassinated?" It's just like
Oh,
that's not something that you say, you know?
yeah.
Like even if you do think it, it's just like, let's have him assassinated. Or the part where well actually no, that's probably like the biggest thing. I was gonna say maybe when or like when James confesses his love for
Hmm.
Alice
Yeah.
to
And
Payne, that
also,
was really interesting.
yeah. And also, like, at the end, where the two are like, well, we've been caught. Might as well commit suicide. Like,
Oh yeah. It's
now I
like
have to kill myself. Like, come on, guys, really?
yeah, is that lighter fluid?
Yeah.
Ricardo!
Oh my gosh. And then he does get shot and he's like mad about it. Like, dude, you're
Hmm.
just about to kill yourself. Like, why are you mad?
And
I
then
mean, I guess I get it, but also.
and then he's like trying to explain everything that went down in the hospital bed, and they're like, "Wait, so you and Dusty Jackson just happened to be in the same place, and we're about to commit suicide at the same time?" And I'm just like, "Bro, who asked these questions?"
Yeah. And also, like, they're both also involved in the same crime, so like that just is very fishy.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we have to talk about each character
Each.
individually.
Okay.
I think we should start with Payne, obviously, main character, played
Mm-hmm.
by played by the one, the only Ben Platt, aka he also played Evan Hansen. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
he.
Well.
I think you have some opinions.
Oh yeah, I thought it was really funny, like from the beginning, and I think pretty much all the way until the end. Well, maybe not in the last episode, because he's grown a little bit, but I feel like he just acts like this toddler who's been given way too much privilege, because he's just like always stomping around, like and just having these temper
Arr.
tantrums, and it's just like, dude, act your age. But then again, like he kind of acts his age with all his smart talk, but like emotionally he's not his age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. Um, I feel like he 100% acts his age because,
Mm-hmm.
so number one, he's white.
Yeah.
Number two, he's privileged. But three, he can kind of play. He doesn't do it, but like, wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try to do it, where he plays the I'm poor card, because in the opening scene, you learn that he's adopted into this rich family
It's
because
like, oh,
his
I've seen
actual
both
mom,
sides.
yeah,
What?
is like a cocktail waitress or whatever.
Yeah. And it seems like he was also adopted at as a baby or like very young.
Hmm.
So it's not like he's ever really experienced being poor. So like
Yeah,
just playing that card is just weird.
yeah. And he doesn't even want to go see his birth mom, which obviously I shouldn't really comment on that, but I'll say this. It feels like he's trying to push that life away from him, in a
Yeah.
sense.
I don't
And
know. It kind of feels like maybe he's just, you know, he has his mom who loves him and he has this great family and like that is his family, and so this
mhm,
genetic person who he hasn't really even met is like
yeah.
really that relevant at all.
Hmm. Oh my god. And Payton has too many cars though. Like lately it's a different like rich person car every scene. I'm like, Payton, stop it.
Well,
Just
yeah.
stop it.
Yeah. He's just okay. I feel like if you're rich, you should teach your children to not think that they're just rich as well, because they didn't do anything. And I feel like
Yeah.
Peyton's in that position where he thinks that he did everything as well, but like he did nothing.
Yeah.
He just grew up in this family.
Mhm. Cuz like the worst thing that really happens to him is like his two older brothers being mean to him.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
in my personal opinion, I think they perfectly hit the nail on the head with like rich, like temperamental rich kids. Cause yeah,
Yeah.
yes, he is like a toddler stomping around with temper tantrums, but at least he's not like I guess he's not just sitting on his butt doing nothing. He's
Mm-hmm.
like going and doing something. Like as he said, he's trying to become class president to elevate his family's status. Like yes, I guess that would elevate your family's status. And he obviously has a dream. And then his brothers are just kind of sitting around trying to ban net neutrality.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I guess he does have good political views in the
Yeah.
sense of, what we assume in not even assume, we agree is good. Um
Yeah.
so his heart, I guess, is his heart really isn't in the right place because it's really just to feed his ego, and
Hmm.
because his generation is so progressive, he's progressive.
Yeah.
Um
And then
so I guess it's
like
hard to see if he's just this person who's feeding his ego or if he is also caring about people.
Yeah. Like
It's a little of both.
I think the line said by Georgina about hearts, she said, "You can teach hard hearts how to be kind, but you can't do it with small hearts," or something like that. And I think Payton is the hard heart. Because he obviously has no emotional depth in a sense.
Yeah.
Except when it comes to River, which
Yeah.
River is interesting.
Yeah. I love him so much. He's okay. I think he's pretty like adorable, and I like how he is in connection with his emotions, which I guess is what every person loves about a guy. But you know,
Yeah.
then again, he's dead.
Yeah. Like, obviously, as like he talk. See, okay, because the only true sense of how he's feeling is everything up to where he commits suicide. Because like after when he's talking to Payton, it makes me think that Payton's like literally going insane. Because like in the last episode he sees Alice, and then he tries to hide behind River, but River's physically not there. But it's like to Payton he's physically there. Like,
Yeah.
well, I'll say this, like not physically, well, physically, because yes, I guess you can possibly imagine someone, but it's like River is tangibly there, where Payton can reach out and touch him,
Yeah.
which makes me think that he's going a little crazy in the head.
Well, I think that's what happens like a lot of the time when you lose someone you're really close to and didn't get to say goodbye or whatever. You often, or not you, but like some people can
Hmm.
experience like seeing their loved one.
Yeah, but like the part where he tries to, well, not tries to, well, yeah, where he tries to hide behind River, but
Yeah.
it's like, bruh, what you doing?
Yeah. And I also
Hmm.
feel like it's lasting a little too long. Like this seeing of him, because it's that end of the series, not series,
Season.
season, um, ended with him still seeing and talking to him, and obviously have been having a consistent connection with him,
Yeah,
Peyton with River. And so that's probably been like 3 years, as you said maybe earlier.
yeah.
And
Somewhere between 3-4 years, yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like though that not only is River in touch with his feelings, which I think they like, well, obviously, because I feel like not every show needs this, but I feel it was interesting that, so River is obviously the love interest
Mm-hmm.
of Peyton and of Astrid, and I feel like it's very interesting that they killed him off, because he's he's kind, feels things. He's kind of like a sweet little boy, but in quote the body of Superman, or maybe it wasn't the body, or like the
Yeah.
face of Superman or whatever. It's just like he's like the perfect guy. Like he literally is, and then he kills himself, and then like two things from that. I feel like it was very interesting to kind of switch up how there's the interactions with the love interest, because Peyton can never really be with him. Because
Mm-hmm.
personally, I do believe that Peyton like loves Alice,
Yeah.
but I think Peyton connects way more with River, because Alice doesn't make him feel the way that River makes him feel. Like literally actually feel, like where
Mm-hmm.
Payne can be emotional around him. So I like that. And then I also liked, well, I don't want to say I like the fact that River killed himself, but I like how they do shine a light on the fact that it doesn't matter how, quote, perfect, or quote, how damaged you are to,
Yeah.
or from what you, or not are, but what you seem, If you seem super perfect or super damaged, no one really knows what's happening in your head except you. Obviously, the show is grounded in reality because, yes, other shows created by Ryan Murphy deal with, like, magic and stuff like that and kind of, like, don't really, like, rely on the rules. But this show is grounded in reality, so there's obviously no way for River to come back.
Well, I was thinking that the reason that River killed himself, I don't think is just because of randomness. I think he said this, but not really, that he's an empath, like, but his empath sort of powers, I guess, because they're sort of like powers, is just so strong that he takes on everybody's emotions, and that's really difficult for somebody to deal with. And so I think that might have been obviously the reason.
Should we talk about River's other, quote, lover? Astrid.
Sure.
Or
yeah, we'll
like
talk
to
about
start,
Astrid some more.
I would like to talk. I'm sorry, Astrid's
No.
personally Astrid's my favorite character because I don't want to say I want her life because she obviously has a really bad life, but like I in a sense kind of relate to her. Or I want to I relate to her and I want to be like her because so when she goes to New York and she's like, "Oh yeah, I want to be like a poor person and work at Bubba Gum's." She's not like, even if she does run away with like a certain amount of money, she can literally just like, because obviously she's rich and she comes from a rich family, she can just in theory wire transfer or something like that, more money to herself so she can quote be poor, but still not have to really worry about what's like actually being poor, because she probably doesn't have like any debts or whatever. So like she lives like a very carefree life, which is obviously I think something that everyone wants. I do like how she has like the 2-3 episode plot line where she goes to New York and she has this idealistic, perfect carefree life, but then she comes back because like it's literally just a fantasy, because there's I shouldn't say no one can achieve this, but very few people can achieve like the thing that Asha is going after. Also, I like her because she's really funny.
Yeah.
But like she's also kind of stupid as well.
I know, it's hard to decide for me what she is. Like it's so confusing.
Like
like I can't really decide. Like the thing with her father is really kind of weird. Like her father is one of those guys who are like, I want to F my daughter, and like I don't like that, but it's hard to see like how she's feeling about it. Obviously she takes him down at the end, but like
by calling the FBI to specify.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, there could have been a ton of different ways she took him down. That's not very specific, but yeah, I don't really like how she doesn't really think about it that much, or at least from our point of view, she doesn't think about it that much.
Yeah. Like, personally for me, we must have seen, there has to have been parts where Astrid cries, right? Well, she cries when River kills himself.
Yes.
Doesn't she do it when Ricardo breaks into her house right before they run away?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, like
that would make sense.
I think she's kind of silently dealing with it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because to me, the way that I see the thing with her father, where her father like likes her in a sexual way, which is weird. I feel like it's like he likes her because he's a girl, and as she said, I think in the first episode, he likes pretty things, and she's pretty. but she also kind of, in a sense, treats her like a dude, in the sense
Yeah.
that like, obviously, yes, a father can push his daughter, but it just seems more in a sense of a very hyper masculine way that he's pushing her to do all these things. Like, he's like, and in a sense, it could be like kind of good because, like, you never really hear people tell women that it's good to be cold and
Yeah.
conniving, but I kind of read it as more of like a hyper masculine thing, because that's more of like dudes need to be cold and cunning, and they need to be cutthroat when it comes to anything. I think
Yeah.
especially he's very hyper masculine with her because she's going against another dude. So it's like he's trying to make her a dude so that her and Payne are on the same level in a sense. But
Yeah.
and then like the whole thing where he talks about him and his dad boxing, and then he compares that to how they play tennis. I was like, you're just carrying on your father's hypermasculine ways. So there's
Mhm.
probably, yeah, a lot of misogyny rooted in that, and a lot of, I guess, sexual desire in that as well, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, why?
Yeah,
Because
it's really
obviously
interesting, I
Astrid is
guess.
more like, I don't want to say more like her mom, but she has more similar qualities with her mom.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god. Oh god, the mom being like a hooker or something, and
Oh
then they
yeah.
just married. That was an interesting plot point. But like, Astrid is like her mom because they're obviously both broken. Obviously,
Yeah.
Astrid doesn't do like drugs or drinking or pills or whatever like her mom. But honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that they ever do explore with Astrid. Like, if she ever like hits rock bottom, because personally for me, I don't think she has hit it yet. I think the only character who has hit it is Payton.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I would kind of like to see the other characters really not hit rock bottom, but kind of see how they feel about everything. Because even like, for example, when McAfee and Sky break up, McAfee doesn't seem sad at all. I'm like,
Yeah.
like, someone just broke up with you. Be
I
sad.
mean, not everybody has to be sad, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes. Yeah, that is true. But yeah.
well, the other thing with Astrid's mom, which I think is kind of weird, but also kind of understandable in a way, is that when Astrid's like, "Oh yeah, I'm running away," she's just like, "Okay, chill. Can I come with you?" And
Hmm.
she's like, "No." And she's like, "Okay, chill." And then she just walks out like, "Okay, um this is kind of weird how like you're just like, "Okay, bye."
Hmm.
Um I guess that could be because maybe not I don't know who knows about like her mom being a stripper and all, so she's like maybe like it doesn't really matter if you run away because their name's already tainted. Well, the name was already tainted a little bit ago as well,
Yeah.
because that was right
And then,
after the dad was arrested.
yeah. Which honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the dad comes back in season 2
Yeah.
to maybe somehow mess with the kids. Because,
Oh
like,
yeah.
he's a rich, white, straight man.
Yeah.
He's,
Well, he's kind of proud of his daughter though, and she. Oh, never mind.
yeah.
I was gonna say she's the one with Peyton. No, she's not part of Peyton's campaign. No, no, she's not. She was against
Yeah.
him. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. So yeah, that
Which,
would make sense.
yeah. He said was a very sucker punch to the jaw type thing where being cold is good, which was very interesting. I feel like, though, that we should talk about a character that I don't think we've actually. Have we even said her name?
No.
Infinity Jackson!
Infinity
Yeah.
Jackson. Yay.
Infinity, in my opinion, I don't like her. Like, I know that obviously she didn't know that her mom was tricking her into believing that she had cancer, and then like Munchausen by proxy, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
personally, for me, I feel like even then she was kind of fake. Like,
Yeah.
the whole scene in the Olive Garden thing, I'm just like, bruh, come on.
I feel like that's only because her Nana like tells her to do stuff, and she's like, first of all, she has somewhat of a trust in her Nana. I don't know if it's trust or if it's abuse and forced trust,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's probably
obviously
a
there is
mixture of
abuse
both.
there.
Yeah, she's made Infinity. The Nana has made Infinity depend on her, so
Yeah.
I think that's probably part of it. And Infinity just wants to make her happy so that she doesn't make her unhappy
Hmm.
or hurt or etc.
But like, okay, the reason that I think that she's kind of fake, I guess that there obviously is reasoning behind, like, because I'm kind of like looking at that versus like the second half of the season when she finds out that she's being tricked to, and then she kind of like snaps and changes
Yeah.
like into. She's not like a monster, but she's very mean.
Mhm.
Like, obviously, there's lots of reason why she should be mean to
Yeah.
Ray, the technician, and her mom, but it's just like, I feel like there must have been some of that before, because, like, she always wanted to know what was up with her mom, because she talked about, even before she got the medical results, she's like, well, what happened to my mom? And then, the Nana, Dusty, would be like, oh yeah, she had
Died of
liver
liver failure.
failure, and then Infinity would be like, well, how did she get liver failure?
Mhm.
So I feel
It's
like
like, oh, I don't know.
yeah, I feel like she's like, in a sense, kind of like a volcano, and she erupts in the second half of season 2, where she's just super vicious to everyone. Obviously,
Yeah.
not everyone, because her and Payne do reconnect,
Mhm. I
but
feel like that's due to just like her whole life just being a big long piece of trauma and
yeah.
her finally being kind of knowing of it happening and understanding it. And
Hmm.
so she's just pretty angry about it. And
Yeah.
yeah.
And then she takes, I think in episode 5, where she storms the debate, or maybe not debate, whatever it is. I thought that was pretty funny, because like obviously
Oh, yeah.
she has she had anger with Pain. Like, I understand he sucks. I don't like him.
Yeah.
But like, in a sense, Peyton was the most honest with her. Obviously,
Yeah.
100% he went about the totally horribly wrong way.
Yeah.
Like, no justifiability to the way that he went about it. But at least he was honest with her. Like, especially because he waited way too long to tell her, in my opinion. Like,
Yeah.
because I think they find out in episode 2 with the blood drive. They
Yeah.
should have 100% told her that, but then they could have, and I feel like that could have actually been interesting to see, because then in episode 3 she gets taken off the ticket because she was, quote, homophobic to the gay
Yeah.
reporter. It could be I just kind of think, like, how would that have changed the story, that it would actually make Payne seem, or she could at least manipulate people to think that he literally just used her for her cancer, and as soon as he figured out that she didn't have cancer, he drops her. I feel
Yeah.
like that could have been a very interesting thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think he really just dropped her because she was a very tainted person
Hmm.
in multiple ways. The
Yeah.
the slur, and also her whole visual
livelihood.
being a lie.
Yeah, yeah. And then let's talk about Infinity's boyfriend, Ricardo. Oh my god. Their relationship, in my opinion, is so funny.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
I
It's kind
just.
of weird.
Why do you say. Well, okay, it's weird, yes. Would you like to elaborate
Well,
on that?
okay. First of all, I'm pretty sure he is over 18,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
mean, I guess it's fine. Not really, but kind of. Yeah, sure. He says it's consensual, and it is. So I don't really want to get into any of that.
Isn't she 18, though, as well?
I don't know if she's 18. She might
Because
be
they're.
17. Because I remember when the Nana was like, "Oh, I have some things that I know you've done that are illegal," and he's like, "Hey, the things between me and Infinity are consensual,"
Oh.
which I guess, I mean, it still breaks the law, but at the same time, it doesn't. It's weird.
Like, how it'd be like, Ricardo's like. Because, yeah, he did say that he dropped out of high school, so I was guessing maybe he was like 20, and she would be like 17 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my opinion, though, I kind of like their relationship because
It's not bad. It's
Ricardo, besides River, Ricardo's the only one who's got a heart. Well, okay, some other characters do have a heart, but he's got the biggest heart because everything he does is literally out of love for Infinity. Because
yeah.
even if it's self-sabotage, sabotaging his relationship, especially not even when he kind of sabotaged her goal of being VP, he still did it because he loved her and he knew that. But I don't think he knew that his reasoning behind it was Payne was using her for her cancer.
Yeah.
Obviously, yes, because they need someone to humanize Peyton. But the way that I kind of got was he kind of saw Peyton using Infinity as a charity case.
Yeah.
Even though, yes, he obviously is nice to Infinity up until, they figure out that she's faking it.
Yeah.
But like everything he does, like the tape, even killing himself, he literally kills himself because he loves Infinity so much, but she doesn't love
Yeah.
him back.
Well, wait. He does live until the end.
Yeah.
So he doesn't actually kill himself. He tries to, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I should say that. He tries to kill himself because he believes that he and Infinity can never be together again, and he's the love of her life.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he does the best he can with the education he has.
Hmm.
Like, he doesn't have that good of an education, obviously.
Yeah.
And something isn't right. And I think that's just also due to uneducation. But, he really is just trying his best to do what he can. And he doesn't want, like, when we first see him, I think, he's like kind of an angry guy and
Hmm.
like seems like he's abusive, but he's
Really?
not. I mean, like,
I
in the
didn't get
way that
that vibe for him.
when he was like yelling at the kid in the store.
I thought he was like I kind of understood it because sometimes the littler kids are annoying.
Yeah, 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 true.
Hmm.
But I'm just thinking, like, they
I.
portray him as not good, but then you realize, oh wait, he's actually kind of good person.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any theories about what's gonna happen in season 2? Because I got a few actually.
Um,
Should I start?
I don't. I just wanna I kinda wanna just mention that I think that one thing about Infinity is
Hmm.
that she obviously dresses very young and has like
Hmm.
these objects that make her feel comfortable that are for
Yeah.
very young children more like,
Hmm.
And I think she has like some type of age regression that she's developed that helps her cope with her trauma.
Yeah.
And also
Possibly.
just kind of feel like the position she's in where she's relying so much on her Nana makes sense to her.
Yeah. Like, I do agree. I feel like Infinity and her Nana, that plot line, which I feel like they obviously do a lot of drama up to it, and they do it in a different way. But I feel like they probably got that from the story of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, like that,
I know that one.
and her mom. I think it was Claudine. I think. Like, and then there was that because so I kind of got that from I just got that vibe like right away when you saw Infinity getting her hair shaved because there was that Hulu show, I do forget what it's called. I'm going to search it up.
Okay.
The Act, yes. So there's a point in the show, The Act, where that exact same thing happens. And I feel like when they did that, they probably told the actress who plays Infinity, oh my god, I think her name is like Zoe Duche. I don't know how to say her last name. Duche? Dude? I don't know. Deutch. Anyways, I think that every time that she was on screen prior her realizing that her treatments were fake, they were like, you should take inspiration from Joey King in The Act. Because they both have higher pitched voices than like how they actually speak.
Yeah.
And they both do kind of act like a child as well. But you know, and then which they did not go this far, which I was very happy for because I feel like that would have been way too dark. But in the show The Act and in real life, Gypsy Rose, she connects with this guy throughout something, probably like Omegle or something, probably maybe not Omegle, I don't even know. But anyways, they plot to kill her mother.
Oh man.
And then she is put on trial for the murder of her mother. And I was happy that they did not go through with that because I was like, I really hope that the mom doesn't die because the actress who plays her, Jessica Lange, I didn't, like, I don't know if she's going to be in season 2. I really hope that she pops up in at least 1 or 2 episodes because I thought she was so funny.
Oh.
But anyways, I'll get to my theories now. So, personally for me, I feel like, so obviously we learn in the last episode that the state senator, Dee Standish, is in a throuple, a threesome, whatever. And they already know about that dirt, so they can already use it against her. But and then Payne has the skeleton in his closet, which is Infinity's cancer thing, which is gonna be, it's kind of interesting because they like, I'm trying to imagine how they would use it on Payton because he's literally friends like with everyone who did him wrong. He's still friends with, and he's literally made friends with Sky, who tried to kill him.
True.
He became friends again with Infinity after that whole thing. He still stays friends with McAfee and James after. Well, I feel like McAfee should have never been dissed by Payton because honestly, the fact that she started dating Sky was her business, not Payton's business. You should have just backed off.
I just realized something.
What?
Didn't Astrid come to his place at the end?
Yeah. She's the reason they know that Dee Dee is in the
Right.
three-way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I was saying earlier that they're still against each other, not really still against each other. She's like kind of
Yeah.
joined his team now.
Yeah. I thought you meant like during that time period in high school that they were
Oh.
against each other, and I was agreeing with you. Yeah, because
Yeah.
they obviously have made amends. Like, I don't know who's like, I don't know how that's gonna go, but I feel like 100% someone's gonna spill the beans about the fact that Infinity. Well, she didn't fake having cancer, but the fact that Payne knew about it and didn't do anything about it for a certain amount of time
Yeah.
was
I mean,
going to be something. But like, how do you really use that if those two people who
yeah.
like did that?
I
Because
mean, there
like,
could be like some excuses, but also it's just really bad because they did like illegally test her blood.
is that legal?
Is
I
it?
didn't. I'm not
Is it
sure.
illegal? I mean,
It's
I'm assuming it's illegal because like they told her it was going to one place. But then
mhm.
again, they said that
It's
anybody can donate blood and they
it's
never really said where.
unethical for sure.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely unethical. Yeah, it might not be illegal.
hmm
Okay.
Maybe. I feel like possibly maybe someone's gonna switch sides
Ooh,
and join
the
Dee
dark
Dee
side.
and Hadassah.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened or why it would happen, but maybe like I feel like this could kind of be actually possibly interesting. Somehow Andrew comes back and he's on Dee Dee and Hadassah's side because he does not like Payton. He doesn't like the fact that I couldn't get with Infinity. And that's
Mhm.
like kind of all, you know. Oh, and then he doesn't. Well, yeah, he kind of is annoyed by James and McAfee.
Yeah.
But like you don't really learn about how he feels about Astrid or Sky. I feel like maybe he could come back or something. I feel like one of
Yeah.
like the side characters, so maybe him. That'd be really interesting if they actually brought back the kid who was in the episode The Voter.
Oh
And
yeah,
they
that would
brought
be
him back.
really weird.
Like he's somehow just trying to take them down. I don't even know why. He just
Yeah.
he just is.
I
And
feel like
then
his life is so irrelevant, but that would be really interesting to see if they could do that.
mhm. I don't even know. I'm trying to think of other side characters in the show who didn't
Um,
like appear every single episode.
let's see.
What about? Oh my God! What about Thad joined
Oh,
Dee Dee and
that.
Hadassah because he just gets so mad at Alice and Payne
Yeah.
for Alice Lady running out on her wedding.
Yeah, that would be something to be pissed off about.
I could see him joining their side because obviously Alice, she's not super political because I don't think
Yeah.
she's very smart.
hmm I think that, personally, that is very annoying that she just left her own wedding. Like,
hmm
come on. Really, it
Yeah.
could have waited until the next day or something. You
hmm
know, it's not like
See,
working with your ex has to be that you have to be his girlfriend. Because at the end, they're obviously holding hands on camera, so that
yeah.
obviously there was some dumping involved. Um,
Yeah, it's like it was like that was really interesting as well. Like I guess the theory is do you think that Alice and Payne will stay together in season 2? Because Payne brings up like the thing about being emotionally deep and he thinks that if he runs for state senator, he'll lose all his emotions and become a politician, just be very like ruthless. And
yeah,
that's obviously what pushed away Alice in the first place, was he had to be politically savvy, and one of that was breaking up with Alice.
yeah.
Okay, so here's another theory as well. I think 100% because so I read another article. I do not forget I forget what these are called, so I'm very sorry. Um, but it was Ryan Murphy, and he was talking about the show, obviously, and he said that the show was going to have 5 seasons, and
Oh
each
wow.
season would hit like a different point in Payne's career becoming president. So like
Oh
it's
wow.
obviously going from president of high school to now state senator. So maybe season 3 could be, I don't know, maybe like I don't know what's above that.
Me neither.
Maybe like congressman. I'm not sure. And maybe season 4
Oh
could be
yeah.
like legislator or something. I don't know. If someone's listening and they know about politics stuff and I sound really stupid, I'm so sorry. And then I think this actually. Season 4 could possibly be him running for presidency. And then
Yeah.
season 5 is him actually being the president during his re-election.
Yeah.
It could possibly be that, and then season 3 would be him. They said
Oh.
state senator was not as good as normal senator, right?
Yeah.
So maybe
I'm not
season
sure.
3
Wait.
is
Or is it
normal
better?
senator. I'm not sure. Maybe
Because they
he
were
would.
like, she's our leader, not like
Yeah, like I
something
think
weird.
season 3 has like I would say maybe a 50% chance possibility happening in Washington D.C., but 4 and 5 I think 100% chance of happening in D.C.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's where the political epicenter is.
Yes. Of
So
course.
that is also a theory that I have for the show. I also think I also think possibly that with the later seasons, if it's gonna jump so much, because like so for
Mhm.
example, running for president, you have to be at least 35. The
Yeah.
the person who plays Payton Ben Platt, I think he's only like 25 or something. He's 26,
Yeah.
and so obviously, if they did take a break from shooting to like where he does look older, then maybe. But I think they might like recast possibly like later down the line, maybe.
Oh yeah. That would be interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
because you look different when you're older.
Hmm.
Or maybe they'll do some weird like makeup stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, which is possibly true because that's what they do in the show This Is Us with Mandy
Oh
Moore.
yeah.
Hmm. I also have another theory about Chris. What about if
Chris.
Chris comes back? She could come back.
Which one's Chris?
Chris is the
Oh,
data
Chris. Oh,
analysis girl. I
the one who's like, please vote, and the guy's just like, the
and then
voter.
like he pushes her aside.
Yeah.
That scene was so funny. Oh god. But I feel like she could actually come back because
Yeah.
obviously she is just as political as Sky. Because I think Sky is very political. Sky, McAfee, James, and Payton are the most political, and then I think Astra is just in it for
Yeah.
the clout, really. But I do.
True.
But what like Chris could come back and she could actually be on their team, which I'd actually really like to see because personally for me, I liked Chris because
Yeah.
she's just so she was funny and annoying. The fact that her
Yeah.
character is annoying makes her funny, in my opinion.
Oh man.
Hmm.
Yeah. The I she's like a data analysis though, like
Yeah.
person. So I'm not so sure that she would want to be involved with politics that much. I feel like she just took it as an opportunity to help out with this woman-led campaign and also use her skills. But
Hmm.
maybe that's a possibility. But then
Yeah.
again, that would be like using way too many characters from the first season. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
that is true. Cause like the way this show is formatted is it's like it's not an anthology because obviously everything ties together, but it's
Mhm.
like semi because it's like time bubbly type thing. Because first
Yeah.
season obviously high school, the second one is going to be
Oops.
these characters like in college / post grad. And then obviously season 3, season 4, season 5, we don't know when that's going to take place, but probably a few more years into the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I really liked her. So I would like maybe she wouldn't be in every single episode, but like maybe like kind of just popping up, just being like, "Oh, hey guys." Maybe she could be on the enemy side.
Yeah. The thing that I do like about
Mm.
the show is that they do have like, I mean, quite a bit of LGBTQ plus representation,
Yeah.
especially at the end with like a polyamorous relationship. Like that was not something I expected.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, they do. Okay, with that, they do portray it in like a pretty negative way, where they're like, this could take them down. But like, honestly, though,
I think it
society
was
does see
yeah.
polyamorous relationships as
Yeah.
pretty gross
Like
and not proper and
mhm.
wrong. So it
I
makes
agree with you.
sense,
Yeah,
but
like
it's still sad.
mhm. I feel like the way that they did present it, personally for me, I didn't think it was gross. When I first saw it, I was a little like, wait a
What's
second.
happening?
Like, I feel like in a sense the way that they portrayed it is kind of like weird in a sense, was
Yeah, I do find it
because
kind of weird.
I think it's satirizing how we view it, because it's like, come on, people, like they're literally not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
Leave them be. And then number 2, as you said, like how society criticizes it, which I think that's why they did, because I think that's probably going to be a point
Yeah.
that Payne is 100% going to lean into, and he's going to be like, I'm normal. I'm here with my singular girlfriend. Well, Dee Dee Standish over there has. See, I'm not sure the other man. I don't even know their names. There's the husband, and then there's the boyfriend, because
Yeah,
he's
they
not
really kind
married
of
with them.
portrayed it as kind of perverted because of like the devil's triangle or whatever that she was like, oh my god, no.
I thought that. Well, I read that as a joke, and I also
Yeah.
thought as like, oh, is that just like a threesome sex position or something?
Yeah. I don't
I
know.
didn't see it as like bad, like you saw it. I just found it funny, but
Mhm.
I could see what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
I personally, for me, I hope that Payne doesn't lean into it, because in a sense, Dee Dee could clap back at him and say, okay, well, at least I'm not. Because personally, for me, I'm not sure if I do think Payne is bisexual. I'm not sure if he's. Yeah, he's bisexual. I was gonna say
Yeah.
bi-curious, but like possibly, um, she could be like, well, at least I'm not bisexual or something, because obviously queer representation in government is
Well, I mean, if she
is
said
not exactly
that,
the biggest
then
thing.
wouldn't that just be dissing her husband?
I know, like I want them to be friends, and it's
Yeah.
like. See, that was the same thing with Payne and Astrid. I'm like, but you guys could be great friends.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
they become great friends, kinda.
No, then this wouldn't be dramatic.
Yeah. Which, yeah, like back to your point of like the queer representation. Yeah, because
Yeah.
so there's the polyamorous relationship. Payne, who's bisexual, McAfee, who is lesbian, I think.
Mhm.
And then there's also River, who's bisexual, and then they said how Astrid was bi-curious,
Yeah.
which I'm not sure if they played it off as a joke or like he actually is. I
Wait,
don't know.
they did have sex though. Astrid and River and Peyton.
Did they?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought she was like, come over to my house and we can all get
Yeah.
on. And I
But I
thought
think
Payne was
later
just like, no.
I think he was like okay. And then like later Astrid was like I'll tell people we had sex or something. I don't know. She said something where she brought it up again, like we had sex type of thing. I don't know.
See, I feel like that would be like he would like he wouldn't do that because this whole time he's dating Alice.
Yeah.
But that could actually be like if you're correct, that could be like a very interesting thing in season 2. Like that would cause a giant ripple between the friend group, because like
Oh
Astra
yeah.
is just like lol. Well, at least, you know, not at least she's like, guess what, Alice, your boyfriend. Well, even though Payne was honest to Alice about. Well, I don't think she said that, or he said that he hooked up with River, but he said how he had feelings for River.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that was interesting. So yeah, I did, and then also the
Well,
actor who does play James, I think, is queer as well. So literally, even the people who are straight are also queer. So I love that.
yeah. What I'm thinking is because they have so much of that representation,
Hmm.
and then also because um Sky is on their team,
Yeah,
that they might have like a lot of LGBT involved with their politics, and also a lot more representation throughout the seasons, because
hmm,
as time moves on, the whole society we live in gets more progressive and more stuff
fingers
is
crossed.
relevant to TV. Yeah,
Yeah.
fingers crossed. So
Do you?
I'm hoping for more non-binary representation, because they said that word once, but I'm hoping for at least twice in the second season
Hmm.
or
Or
something
maybe
like
just like a
that.
new character who comes in.
Oh
See,
yeah, that would be cool.
with your thing about where they talk about like you want them to talk about queer issues in season 2, do you think possibly one of the things that they might talk about politically is like the AIDS crisis, or just like the AIDS
Um,
stigma in general? That could be very interesting because
yeah.
like obviously Ryan Murphy works on the show Pose, um, which takes place in 1980, 1990, I'm not sure. And I think that was around the time, 1980, yeah. And that was about the same time, I think, as the AIDS epidemic, which I'm going to check when that happened.
It was like
That was
not too
yeah, that
long
was
ago.
1980s, 1980, 1981 was when it like first came around. So
Yeah.
obviously Ryan Murphy knows a lot of, probably because he probably had to do a lot of researching and stuff for the show Pose.
Hmm.
So he could possibly talk about it in The Politician,
That
especially
would make
because
sense.
Pose is TVMA, because it does talk about a lot of issues in, I wouldn't say a vulgar way, but like a more mature way, because they like talk about racism, sexuality, stuff like that. And it's the 80s, so it's probably like when crack was around or something like this.
Yeah.
But like The Politician, even though it is TVMA, I think that was just because they said the F slur in the first
Hmm.
episode. Because honestly, they don't they I think they said the F slur in the first episode, and I think in the second episode they said the F word. But
Oh.
there are some TV 14 shows that get away with saying the F word like a couple times and doing the middle finger, but
Hmm.
they're still TV 14. So like I feel like the show is more or less geared to a TV 14 audience, and so maybe Ryan Murphy could actually bring these issues to people. Well, obviously not our age because we're older than 14, but like people younger than us, especially like they do queer issues. It could help children younger than us try to
Yeah.
like figure out their sexuality, and they obviously, as we've been talking about, see people who are like
Hmm.
them, which I think is a very, very
Yeah.
good thing.
That is nice.
Hmm. Like, okay, obviously, I'm gonna guess we both recommend the show, right?
Yes, I would recommend the show.
Yeah. I,
Um,
f- I feel like the reason that I would, okay, I don't want to look at articles. I'm trying not to look at articles. Oh wait, I just realized we haven't watched the season 2 trailer.
Oh yeah.
We're
Well.
gonna do it after this, and then
Okay.
we'll come back to you guys next week. But anyways, yeah, I feel like the reason I recommend it is because the show is so whip smart when it comes to issues. It is not afraid. It's so funny as well, just the way that each of the characters talk, and
Mhm.
it's just so like obviously, especially right now, if you talk about politics, I shouldn't say right now. I'll say in the past 4 years, if you talk about politics, it turns into a war of words. Um,
Yeah.
but the way
Yeah.
that they present it in such a funny and unique way is just personally, I think does not matter what you do believe in.
Mhm.
Like you'll be able to enjoy the show because like there was the knock at I think in 2016. I'm not sure when this was, but like when people were saying, "Oh yeah, the Russians are like creating fake votes for the presidential election or something like that."
Oh my
Then they
gosh.
then they do the whole thing with the in the episode the voter where that little girl she's crying and then the dude in the polo shirt or sweater vest or whatever, he's like they could just break in other kids to vote. And I'm
Yeah.
like the fact that you just compared I obviously I'm not sure if they compared those two things, but like the fact that they kind of alluded to that, I was just like, they did not just do that. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty funny because it does like obviously yes, world politics like presidential elections, obviously there'd be more reason in a sense to play dirty and get Russians to vote for you, but like a high school thing, it's like who really cares, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I think about the show is that the picture for like the thing on Netflix, it I feel like it doesn't really relate to the show like either of them because I remember seeing The Politician in the past and me going, "Oh, that's a show about politics. I don't really want to watch that." But then
Hmm.
now that I've watched it, it's funny and it's not really like a show like about politics that
Hmm.
much. Like it is, but that's not really the focus. There's a lot of other things that are more interesting about the show
Hmm.
and are more focused on. So I guess that's one thing, not to judge it by its how
Title,
they
but
present
like
itself or
kinda.
its title. Yeah.
Hmm. Like I kind of get that. I think like the great thing about that though is the fact that since it was created by Ryan Murphy, and Ryan Murphy does have um a reputation of making very comedic shows, depending on if it's going to be comedy horror or
Oh,
comedy satire or whatever. You For many people, I think going into the show, they knew it was going to be comedic.
yeah, that would make
So
sense.
I do agree with you. Like I'm searching up The Politician right now in Netflix, and there's all these other shows. I don't know who's created, but I can 100%. There's one of them, Patriot Act. Like, so I know him, Hassan Minaj. I've seen some of his things, and like watching, like now I know going in to watch the show, I know it's gonna be political, but also know it's really funny.
Mhm.
'Cause, like, so yeah, I get what you're saying because there's some other things I'm seeing, and I'm like, I don't want it to be strictly political.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that could be in a sense a turn off for some people because they could be
Mhm.
like, oh, it's just
Yeah, like
politics.
if you don't really know much about it at all and you're just looking
Hmm.
for something to watch, this could be a really good thing to watch, but
Yeah,
you just wouldn't even know it.
yeah.
Because like the one that's there right now is the three ladies, and that looks like a ton of ladies that are just gonna be mad.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh, that's the picture that you have right now. Oh,
yeah, that's the
the
one that I
picture for
have.
me is so it's um Infinity, James, and McAfee presumably looking up at Peyton and probably Alice giving a speech or something.
Oh.
That's what I have. I kind of get what you're saying with I guess the thumbnails of the show are, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not like they're misleading. It's just, like, confusing if you don't know the show. And a lot of the time when you see a thumbnail, you don't know the show.
Yeah. So, I think that is our review on The Politician, Season 1. Next week, we will be back with Season 2. Very excited. I am a Ryan Murphy stan. Love him to death, especially because we have the same name. We're both writers. We're both gay.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, yeah. That's this week's review on the A&R Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm Addison, and thank you for watching.
Peace.